I'm Daniel Powell with Liminal Legacy Media, and Liminal Legacy Media exists to help you tell your stories and preserve your personal legacy. Now, if you're on the younger side of things, Liminal Legacy Media is here to help you preserve the stories and memories of your parents and grandparents. Because it's my belief, it's our belief here at Liminal Legacy Media that these stories are the most important things that we have. The stories of our elders, the stories of our parents, the stories of our grandparents. Because there's not much in this life that compares to the richness of knowing more intimately where you've come, knowing the people from which you come and their stories and their histories. So what I have for you here is a greatly abbreviated version of Scott's story. Now, Scott's a client that recorded his audio memoir with Liminal Legacy Media a while back. And thankfully, he has allowed me to share a greatly abbreviated version with you. So here is a shortened version of Scott's story, his audio memoir. Enjoy.
I was born in Memorial Hospital in Colorado Springs. Had a lot of lung issues and breathing issues when I was an infant. At one point in time, they didn't quite know what was going on. They thought I might have cystic fibrosis. And I was just a sick little kid. And there were several times my mother has told me that they thought I wasn't going to survive my first year of life. My first memory was when I was probably about 3 or 4 years old. And I remember lying underneath my crib. I was looking out from my crib out into a big living room, and my parents were having a party. And I just remember seeing all these legs, women in high heels and men in long pants. And I remember legs as I was watching them, and they were having a party. So my crib must have been in some sort of a family room at that point. But that's the first memory that I have. The only other memory I have before my family moved into the Skyway subdivision was I remember riding my tricycle down a sidewalk, and my next door neighbor, Johnny Walker, I don't remember why, punched me in the nose, gave me a bloody nose. So I don't know what I did to irritate Johnny, but Johnny had an impact on me. If you remember Leave It to Beaver, Ward Cleaver would always come home from his job, and he'd be wearing a tie, and his wife would make the dinner for him and all that stuff. Pretty much the same at our household. We were pretty much typical. The only way that we weren't typical was back then I don't think that most women worked outside the home, and my mother did. My sister was a little bit more rebellious than me. I remember one time when she was about 16 years old, she had a green Nash Rambler that my parents bought for her. And she rolled the Nash Rambler down our driveway into the street. And then she and a couple friends pushed it around the corner to a hill, rolled down the hill, jump-started it going down the hill, and snuck out to a party. I remember hearing very clearly about that when they got back to the house and had been discovered. When I was a kid, my dad gave me a bow. I had a bow and arrow. And I used to have this game that I would play by myself and I would point the bow straight up in the air, and I would shoot the arrow straight up in the air and see how close to my foot I could get it to come down. And I used to actually gauge how deep in the ground the arrow would go. I said, "Oh wow, that was a 4-incher. That was really high." It's truly a wonder I did not kill myself with my bow. That was great fun at the time, and yeah, I was impervious to any harm at that point in my life. I was raised in Colorado Springs, stayed there until I went to college. My freshman year of college was in Kansas, and then after that I finished up at CSU. Oh, well, that was the Vietnam War. Certainly there were a lot of anti-war protesters out there, and when I was a freshman in college at the Kansas University in Lawrence, Kansas, it was right after the Kent State killing. The Kent State students were just protesting the war in what I believe was a peaceful protest, and some National Guardsmen in Ohio started getting nervous and fired live rounds into a crowd of people and killed 3 students. And there was a lot of marching going on and things like that. And I remember local store owners in Lawrence, Kansas were sitting out in front of their stores with shotguns to keep people from looting, just sitting in front protecting their businesses. Myself and a couple other friends decided, hey, it would be fun. Let's go ahead and drive downtown and look at those store owners that are protecting their stores and see if there's anything going on. We were exceedingly disappointed because there wasn't anything going on in downtown Lawrence, Kansas, but we were looking for excitement. We were looking to see if there were going to be any heads cracked on the street or anything like that, and we didn't find anything. So then we said, well, let's just go back to the dorm. So we drove back to the dorm, and when we got back to the campus, the student union was burning. We saw big flames at the student union. Said, oh, well, there's something going on over there. Let's go find out. So we went to the student union, and we actually helped the firemen. We pulled hoses. We were pulling hoses to put out the fire in our student union. Nothing particularly noble. It was just wanting to be a part of the scene, and obviously we were concerned that our student union, where we went and played pool and did other things, was burning. I had a 1968 Chevy Malibu was my car. It was a cobalt blue, sort of a metallic cobalt blue, just a 2-door sedan, 3-speed transmission, 3 on the tree. It's a cool car. I like that car a lot. I drove back and forth between Colorado Springs and KU several times, but one of the things I remember as being most exhilarating was driving across Kansas at 85 miles an hour, listening to Carlos Santana. And being pulled over by an airplane cop. They had airplane cops back then. And they had people on the ground, and I was escorted into Ellis, Kansas, and given the privilege of paying a $50 or $100 ticket for speeding across Kansas, rocking out to Carlos Santana. I think service is important. I think it's important to have something that's bigger than yourself, something that's outside yourself. And I think what I would add is that my personal mission statement is to co-create a more loving world in which all people are treated equally and with respect. And I think that that's a valid aspiration for anyone to have. I think that that is a valid way to live and a way that would create a better world for all of us if we were to adopt that kind of approach to living.
Well, there you have it, Scott's story. And that's what we do all day here at Liminal Legacy Media. We create audio memoirs, helping you and your family preserve stories and share legacies. And I invite you to dream up what story Liminal Legacy Media might help you tell. Maybe that's your story, or maybe it's the story of a parent or grandparent. But whatever story it is, we don't want to lose it to the sands of time. So give us a visit at liminallegacymedia.com and let's record your stories.
Liminal Legacy Media.